How are you doing, guys? Today we are here with the three performers, the stars of the week in Yonkers. You guys have heard about the dinner with the divas. Well, those are the divas. That's Angel Elktra, Shay Pines. Is that, did I spell it? Did I say it correctly?
Yeah, you did good.
And
Starlust.
Well, instead of me introducing to each one of you, why don't each one of you tell us a little bit about what makes you you?
Hi everyone, my name is Angel Elktra. I am originally from the Bronx and I moved to Yonkers about 4 years ago. I've been doing drags for about 4 years, and as we go on in this interview, you get to know a lot more about me.
I'm Shady Pines. I've been doing drag for about 3 years now. Live here in Yonkers, and also known as New York City's hot mess. We'll talk more about that later.
Hot mess.
Hi everyone, I'm Starlust. I'm from the Bronx. I'm Latina, and I'm trans, and I like to do drags for fun and to entertain, and you will get to know more about in this interview. Thank you.
Now, guys, for how long do you three of you know each other?
I know Shady Pines for 19 years, and the reason I know Shady Pines for 19 years is because we are legally married. We are a couple.
19 years?
We've been together 19 years, married 4 years. We met in high school, June 2nd, 1999. We became boyfriend and boyfriends.
Yes,
Yes.
it's true.
And then we got married, what, 4 years ago?
4 years ago.
Yeah.
And how long
And
you
as
know
long
them?
as long as I know my husband is as long as I know Starr. Because
We're like high school friends.
we're all high school friends.
We all know each other back from the high school years.
So you guys can go back many years.
We have
all
history.
stories.
We have history. We're about to make 2 decades.
2 decades.
About to have 2 decades together.
At one point we wasn't in contact, but then we reunited.
Yes.
And then ever since we just stood together, not unattachable.
Unattachable.
Great. Now, Angel, I know that you do something else besides your performance. What is it that you do?
Oh, I do several things, but does it revolve on drag too? The drag?
No, your professional life. And
Oh,
also-
yes, absolutely. My professional life, I serve and I sell soup for a living. And no, I do not work for Hale and Hardy. I work for Good Stock Soup. It's a very upscale soup company in the West Village. And that's what I do during the daytime, and they pay very well.
What about the reading, the story?
Oh, that's what I was asking. Yeah, I also do Drag Queen Story Hour, which I came from reading. I did an event this morning at the Highland Park in the city, which was a great event. I read stories to children at the public library. You guys can find more information at dragqueenstoryhour.org, and you'll see me all over their website.
But I hear that you have a great audience. Kids and parents together.
Yes, and the
family kind of setting. Right?
Yes, and the main focus of this program is to just, just enrich and teach the children that it's okay to be different. If you want to be a drag queen, you can be a drag queen. If you want to be a girl dressing up like a boy, it's fine. You can be that. If you want to be gay, you can be gay. If you want to be a trans, you can be trans. It's okay, and that's what we do. We try to open up their eyes and their knowledge for when they're growing up, they can be more acceptance of, their future. Because, when I was growing up, I was terrified of being around gay people. And it was only because my parents would never allow me to learn about the gay culture or to experience being around them, because it was so judgmental. So having the opportunity to do what I do now, and having parents bringing their children to the library or to the public schools to experience what I do with Drag Queen Story, it's the world to me.
Now, Angel, explain to people, because you just touched a very important thing. People are not gay or whatever by choice.
Absolutely not. We're born this way.
Exactly.
Definitely. From the time that I can remember, I was like 6 years old, and I was like liking boys at that age. Like, what do I know at the age of 6? You know what I mean? So, I was born that way, and that's how I felt at that time. But I never had anyone to help me identify myself at that time. And that's why having the drag queens as role models, it means the world to me that I'm able to, help and give that hand to children now, so that when they grow up, they won't be so insecure about themselves the way I was when I was growing up.
What is your message to parents that might see a sign that maybe my son, my daughter is gay, but they fight that, what should they do? How important it is to understand your kids at early age, who they are, and become who you are, and not who the society wants you to be.
Absolutely. I mean, I would definitely encourage the parents to just continue to love your child, because at the end of the day, that's your child. You know, you can't deny the fact that you gave or you created this child, you know, and just love it. Just love the person for who they are. Accept them. Because, I mean, you never know. By you not accepting your child for being gay, trans, or lesbian, or bi, or whatever the case may be, you know, you might be ending their lives, you know, and it happens. It happens all the time.
Well, maybe ending their lives, it has happened over and over
Yes,
and over.
absolutely. And it's sad.
It's sad because the parents don't accept who they are. Sometimes those kids feel like, if my parent does not accept me,
No one is going to accept me.
no one is going to accept me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's an important message.
That's very important.
Now, Shay, what about you? When did you realize, when did you come to terms of who you are?
Also, when I was a kid, when I was a young kid, I felt those different feelings for boys, you know, and I was raised that it was wrong. I was raised that it was a sin. There was a time that as a child, I prayed to God to help fix me, you know, because I didn't think that it was right, you know. And as I grew older, I knew to come to terms with it. This is who I am. This is who I was born to be. And accept it or not, this is me.
This is you. Stars, what about you? Your experience?
Well, my experience, I've been doing this since the age of 13 with my grandmother's support. And the doctors were transitioning into boy, into female. It was a tough journey because my grandmother was a little bit hesitant about accepting it. She thought it was a phase, and she just got used to it after a while.
Now, what about today? How does your family, okay, you can refuse to answer these, maybe you don't want to go there into personal, but how does your family, parents, brothers, sisters, uncles, whoever, how do they accept? Did they come to terms and everything is fine? Or do you still have some, you know, sometimes old mindsets are hard to change?
Right.
So how is it going now?
My family was always accepting of it. My dad struggled in the beginning with it, but my dad was also going through something personal with my mom. You know, they were old. They had their relationship issues at the time. So it was hard for him to accept. But quickly came to terms and realized that same thing that this one was saying. I'm his son. You know, he appreciates me for me. And he quickly realized that he has to love me for me, regardless.
For who you are. Now let's just move a little bit away from the family and go into society. Okay, we had a great Pride Parade for the first time in Yonkers.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes, it was great. I can't wait.
Success.
Huge
It was
success. I
amazing
cannot
to
wait
be
for next
part of
year.
I have to say, well, my wife and I, we always go to the city. I always cover.
Yes, yes.
But
you did say that.
I had to go to the Yonkers Parade. My accent sometimes gets heavy.
Mine too. Like later on, you see, I start scrambling words. It happens all
And
the time.
I knew it was going to turn out to be good. But I did not know it was going to turn out to be that good.
Yes. When we started with the meeting and the planning and everything, it was like, we might expect 350 people, and that might be like the max. And like, not even, like, we was way past 350 people. It was just like,
Well,
and I knew it from the night before when we did the kickoff that it was like so crowded at the party. I was like, this is kind of not what we were expecting.
Well, I can tell you this. I was there
Until you got
before,
on
I think
stage.
before you guys got there, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe you were in the back changing. But in the first hour or so, before the show began, we already had past 300 and some people.
Of course, absolutely, yes.
And as the show went on and people started coming in, we had thousands of people walking.
Oh my God! And it's a come thing about it that it was the first one, so
We had visitors, out of towners coming in, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, we had people from
everywhere,
Connecticut.
everywhere. But now, that day we had a particular individual. I'm reluctant to mention his name,
Yeah.
but I am going to.
We're gonna have to.
Because people like that needs to be exposed.
For sure.
Shay, I'm not going to say his name. I'm going to let you guys say his name because I don't want him or people to watch this interview to think or say that I'm leaving.
Absolutely.
Right. No, well, his name is something. Brian, what?
It's Brian Harrod.
Brian
The
Harrod.
reason why his name is coming up on my part is because I'm very aware of what he's been saying about us on the internet and what he's been saying on Facebook and whatnot. His particular words that, you know, we're destroying Yonkers, we're destroying the Yonkers community. Taxpayers are paying money for our shows, which is not the case. We don't see much money from this. You understand what I'm saying? We don't see much money from the shows that we do. He has labeled us as pedophiles. He's labeled us as, you know, child rapists and child murderers and whatnot. Where we have nothing to do with any of that.
No,
We're
and
here
to be honest,
entertain the
and to be
community.
quite honest, before I start to read to children in the public library, I go through a drug test, a screening, and I go through a background check. So no, I'm not a pedophile because I do read to children at the public libraries and I read to children at public schools. So I'm loved by children, and like
we
you
are
said,
here to serve the community.
yeah.
We know that the community is in desperate need of a difference, of a change, of a twist in events, and this is the perfect way to show acceptance. Absolutely.
Now, but did you see that he posted a video of somebody, I think by name JR, and he posted a video. This guy was filming the activities. Did you guys saw that video where the words of that video was actually nothing like pedophiles, but about you guys dressing as women? But if you want to go dress as a woman, you should at least dress as a pretty woman. I don't know if you heard that. And there were a lot of comments, not just calling you names, but I felt that they were offensive towards the entire LGBTQ community.
Oh, absolutely. Let me say something. Drag comes in all different shapes, art forms, sizes. I mean, you have perfect example. She's a full-figure trans woman, and she performs as a drag queen. She identifies when she does her wigs and she throws on this costume. She identifies herself as a drag queen. You know what I mean? I mean, my sense of drag is I make everything that I wear. I make everything Shady Pines wears. I make half of the stuff she wears. I make. You know, so if you have any suggestions of what I should wear, you can contact us, and I might make something you like.
Now, Shade, we had the rally the other day at in front of his house.
I'm going to the next one because I couldn't make to the first one, but I will be there. We're gonna have several.
Okay, and one of the things he said was, "I didn't see any gay people here." I'm wondering, do gay people have a stamp on their forehead saying I'm gay? Because he might very well be one.
That's terrible.
That goes to show how narrow-minded he is.
Very.
That goes to show how narrow-minded he is. He is expecting for people to wear gay on their sleeves, literally, just to prove a point. And you really don't know. You don't know what your community is made up of.
Right, right, exactly. Like, I mean, when I came into Drag Queen Story Hour, and I'm talking about it so much because it has to do with publicity, it has to do with reading things like this. Like, the first thing I was told a year ago when I started this with this organization is you're going to find a lot of internet trolls who are going to bash you, who are going to talk so much negative things about you. And if I sit down and I read and I dwell and I just listen to what all these people or he has to say about what I do as a living, then, honey, I'm going to be miserable. Yeah, it's going to take over my life. I'm going to be miserable just like him behind a computer, you know, just copying and pasting the same shit, the same thing he said 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? Because that's what he pretty much does. He copies and pastes the same thing over and over and over and just laugh my ass off. I don't have time for that.
Same thing. We don't want to give too much time to him.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure that Yonkers, it's a city that claims and is a very diverse and inclusive city.
Absolutely.
We don't need people like that in our city.
No.
New York in general, we don't need
We don't need that.
Yes, we don't need them anywhere.
We don't need that.
Forget about New York and Yonkers. We don't need them.
We don't need it in the world because, you know what I mean, it's bad enough that, I mean, we have to deal with racism. We have to deal with now, we have that president, I'm not going to say his name. You know what I mean? We're dealing with so much. There's people hungry in this world. And then again, Brian, you're sitting in your house worrying about what I do as an entertainer. Get yourself together. Pretty much.
And as you guys saw it, his mental state is also shown because in one hand he's talking the garbage that he's talking about you guys. On the very other hand, he's promoting and telling us.
He wanted to interview Shay.
Me for an interview.
He wanted to interview with Shay. And
what happened?
I never made it happen.
Good.
I've got his phone number. I've got his where he hangs, where he works at, and I won't do it.
Don't do it.
I won't do it. I won't give him that time.
No.
I refuse to.
No.
Now,
I mean, I would rather you, as my husband, get and do something like this, positive, something that we're working together as a community to build this, and I thank you so much for having us, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, like, you just met us. You know nothing about us. I know nothing about you, and if I go by what this man is saying, then I will personally not be here next to you, sitting next to you, you know what I mean? So, like, let's just embrace each other. Let's continue to love and, just, like you said.
well, let me put it to you this way. If what this guy is saying was to be true, let's say for the sake of...
You won't be here.
Exactly. Let's just say for sake of argument, what is alleged is true. I would not be interviewing the mayor,
Hello.
public officials, police chiefs,
Hello.
press credentials from Yonkers, New York City, Hastings, and Mount Vernon.
You won't be interviewing the legendary drag queens from Yonkers.
Correct. All these little things, it's little voices that he hears in his mind, and he thinks that by speaking garbage about me, about you, about thousands and hundreds of others, people will move away from one page into his page. But again, enough with him. We already spoke too much, and we're not going to give him the...
I just real quick before we get off this topic, I just, wish that whoever's watching this and if you're gay, you're part of the LGBTQ plus community, just don't listen to that stuff. Feel that you're safe. You have a community.
There are safe spaces.
There are safe spaces out here in Yonkers that you can come to. Hit me up on Facebook,
You
Instagram.
message me on Facebook.
Hit us up.
Any kind of
How can they reach you on Instagram and
Oh,
Facebook?
absolutely. You can find me on Instagram or Facebook, Angel Elktra. That's Angel, Elktra, Elektra. And I'll be more than glad to tell you to come out and hang out with us, and just so that way you can feel safe. You can find Shady Pines at
Shady Pines, SHAYD'. Pines.
Starlust, Instagram.
your Facebook
and my Facebook,
Stephanie.
and my Facebook is Stephanie Nicole Bermudez.
Yes.
Just
So
hit us up.
if you have any questions, any doubt, any questions about being a trans,
You want to chat with anybody?
just holler at
If
us.
you just want to talk and you're sad and alone, we here.
We're here, Yonkers. We are here.
Actually, that is a great idea, Angel, about probably or maybe having one day a live show streaming
When people go call.
can engage,
Call
can
in.
call, can
Absolutely.
talk, can
Yes.
ask for a question, support.
Absolutely.
Because not everyone, gets support.
Yes.
There's a lot of people that still been discriminated.
I would love to do
in
that.
2018.
I thought that's what we were gonna do today. I thought we were gonna do like a live video, and I was like, oh, people might ask some crazy questions, but that's something we should work on.
Let's work on it.
Yeah.
I might not be the brightest star in the sky, but I know some stuff.
Yes.
Now, how long you been in Yonkers, Angel?
I've been in Yonkers for 4 years. When we first moved to Yonkers, we lived on Tuckahoe with Shades. We call her Mom. But we call Mom, so that's Grandma. We call Grandma. We lived with Grandma for like 2 years on Tuckahoe, and then we ended up moving to McLean Avenue. We got our own apartment, so we are on McLean now. But technically 4 years living in Yonkers.
And you, Stephanie?
Me, I'm originally from the Bronx, but ever since I've been with them,
She's a
I've
Yonkers
been
gal.
She's a
Yonkers
Yonkers
girl.
girl. We're trying to get her an apartment out here.
So then I have to tell you this. I've been in Yonkers for about 40 years. 40. And I have seen Yonkers changing, not just building-wise, but mentally wise.
Of course.
I remember when gays would not be accepted in Yonkers. I remember when they shut down a gay bar that used to be on Nepperham with people walking around it saying, shut it down, shut it down, shut it down.
Wow.
Long before you guys arrived. Today, I look around and I see a whole different mindset.
Oh my God.
Queers in here.
The queers are here. Like,
And here to stay?
and we're here to stay. We ain't going nowhere. Especially now, we ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. Like, especially around this area. Like, it's amazing because, I mean, like, when we got off the Metro North, I felt so comfortable. I'm like, oh my God, like, normally I don't feel this. Like I told you when we spoke earlier, I don't travel and drag. But when I was like, we're going to do this interview and I want to be in drag, I want to take this, and like, the fears away. Like, I felt comfortable. I felt home. And as we getting off the Metro North, a lady that she's a great follower on Instagram, she met us on the parade and she's driving by. She's like, Angel. And I'm like, who the hell is that? She's like, I remember you from the parade. And I was like, oh, wow. So that's good that people can actually remember who we are. And just with that one day that we performed for Pride.
One day. And it was a positive event.
Absolutely.
Not a single problem.
No.
People enjoy it.
Yes.
People intertwine. They network. And
Families,
And we had-
children were there.
that is important.
That's important.
Families were there.
Yes.
Because a lot of people would talk.
Absolutely.
Well, not a lot of people.
families, and also we made new families.
And we made new
Exactly.
families.
Friends,
Not a lot of
family.
people. this individual that we were talking about, you know, how embarrassed it was for children to be watching this.
Absolutely
Nah,
not.
you know how many pictures I've got with children?
They love
I spoke
every
to
second of
parents.
it.
And me too. Me too. There was this one child. He must have been like 10, 30, like I say 15 the most. He said that because of us is because why he's living.
Why he saved it. We saved his life.
We
is
saved
what
his
he
life.
said.
So this kid does not know anything about me, but the fact that he knows that we do drag, he said that because of us, we saved his life. So I mean, like, how could you say that? You wasn't here.
So guys, listen and learn.
Yes, listen.
Listen and learn. Don't hear those ignorant words and take what they're saying for it. These are life experiences.
Yes,
And
And
that's
we're
the
there.
truth.
and if you have any questions, you can, like I said, I'm not one of those queens that, you know, like I make it on TV
Trust me,
and
she's not.
I will reply to your message and I will message you. And if you have any questions, ask me.
Unless she blocks you like she blocked
Oh
you
my
at one
God.
time.
I did because of Brian's fault. Oh my God, it's all because of his fault.
But that's in the past.
Yes.
Well, to end this, one last word for each one of you. Maybe a suggestion, maybe a recommendation, maybe an advice to the parents, to the people of Yonkers, anything. Please look at the camera,
You start.
address them.
Anybody who's been questioning about who they truly are, be yourself. Be true to who you are, and don't let anybody say that you cannot be who you are, because you truly, truly, truly can. Absolutely.
Definitely. And yeah, you pretty much nailed it with that. Just accept yourself. Don't let anyone ever bring you down. And this goes to straight people. This goes to the straight allies. This goes to anyone. We as humans should not be mistreated. You know, because at the end of the day, we have feelings and feelings do hurt. You know, so just love yourself and love yourself. Because if you can't love yourself, how the hell you gonna love anybody else?
Can I get an amen?
Can I get an amen? Amen.
Amen.
Yes.
You know, you just have to be you. At the end of the day, that's you going to be the person that you want to be, long as you love yourself before you love anybody else.
Facts.
So guys, to close this up, let's just not forget that. Love is love. Is love.
It's love.
Love is
Of
love.
course.
Stay tuned until next time. Peace out.
Peace out. Bye.
Bye.